Okay, mic check, mic check. Can anyone hear me? Can't. Okay, I got one viewer. Can people double check see if I'm okay? Okay. Audio input capture is coming in. Okay, thank God. Okay, okay. Um. Yeah. So that's good. That's wonderful. Let me just see if I can give her a call then. One second. I've got triple screen set up now. Uh. Um. Oh, she's not on right now. Great. I'll have to figure this out. But hello, this is Charza, and we are live at the moment. I am waiting for my good friend RainbowSquidInk to come in. I'm just kind of chilling out until then. How have you all been today? You are God. I don't know about that. I wish I was. I genuinely wish I was. Uh, oh, actually, I just realized I did not scale this image properly. This is gonna bug the hell out of me. Oh god. Let me just set this up better. So I like me the setup. Oh, Gundam money. No, he got me a nice setup, a nice rig, but that was on the house. So, but hey, you know what? I wish I could claim that. I mean, to be honest, I am thankful that he likes my stuff and I like my stuff and everyone likes my stuff. So I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. The triple screen setup is literally just like two screens, and I added a computer screen, a TV to the mixture. Okay, she's actually not on her Discord, but let me just well, fair enough, that's true. I might actually switch the scene over to some just show off some things I'm working on in the meantime. So, one sec. Oh, do you like YouTube stuff? You like I make the Gundam is here animations, Okami. Thank you. But I appreciate you being here. That's awesome. Yeah, I know she had to turn off for the stream, so I'm just gonna give her like I'm just kind of like waiting for her over there. But until then, I am going to. I DM'd her. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, let me. I'm gonna switch this over to. I'm gonna boot up Source Filmmaker. See if we can do that while I'm. Well, I can show you guys off some things I've been working on. So let me. Oh wait, no, wrong thing. Looking for a game to capture. I don't think that'll do. Shit. One sec, guys. Let me switch over to. Yes, I do make the Gundam animations. That's my thing. So let me switch. Grab me the game display capture. That'll be the best. Add source. Add source. Okay. There! Awesome! Sweet. Let me, actually, I'm going to switch it back to this, but I'm going to add in the display capture. Hey, I mean, heck, I could have you on, like, we're waiting for Squid. I could have you on if you want to ring, I guess. Anyway, but yeah, let's jump into this first. I can show you guys the latest project that I have decided to work on. I was working on it as I was listening to Squid, so that was fun. Oh wait, shit. See the background's literally the same. Okay, so this has been a fun little project I've been working on. So we're gonna. While we're waiting for her to come on, I'm going to show you guys some of the things I'm working on here. So let's zoom out for a sec. So right here, we got the Eric Andre show all set up. It was actually from weirdly enough, this is all from, I'm trying to find the right words here, Gmod. So I decompiled it. I messed around. I removed the lights, made them far darker in here. So here we got right here Mr. Eric Andre himself, built from a suited demo man, and combined things together. And we got Gundam here. So I'm just, I'll show you a little bit of the, just from the. I'll go back to the actual scene camera here.
Believe it or not,
Oh shit! I just realized I don't actually. Is my mic? Is everything? Why is that audio not coming in? Oh, no wonder. Did I? I don't know. Is this on my end or? Oh, right. Let's see. Maybe.
Care what you want to believe.
I just oh, wait, what? For some reason, I'm not getting audio now. Let me just check something. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. One sec. I'm gonna reconnect my headset. And reconnect the headset. Reconnect it again. And roll it through. Come on. Come on, you silly thing. Oh, now it's. I'm gonna have to connect the Bluetooth again. One sec, guys. Why are you not working today? Wow, that sucks. Anyway, but yeah, we're having fun today. So let me just fuck it. I kind of wanna. Fuck, what the hell? It's like. Sorry about this guy. Yeah. I don't know why. I'm gonna switch this over to the other screen here. And for some odd reason, it ain't letting me connect to it, or it's trying to, and it's been there. Now, let us set this up right. Not hands-free. I need to. Okay, perfect. Let's try this. Oh wow, this still not coming through. Still not. God damn it. What did I? I'll just do this then. Okay, fuck it. Do it live! One sec, guys. I'm gonna switch over to my other ID, my backup setup. The old hardwire route, as they say. One sec. I need to stream more, to be honest. I'm honestly just kind of a recluse more than I should be. I want to stream more. I just... now I can't find the bloody thing. I want to stream a lot more, to be quite honest here with you guys. Let me just move this down to there. That's where I wanted it to be. One sec. I apologize. Oh, here. It's right here. Alright. I need to be streaming more. So let me just say that right now. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Still waiting on Squid, I think. Let me just... headphone in. Alright. Let's see. Headphones... Okay, there. Let me just, Oh, she's on. Okay, one sec. Let me just make sure I test this right. Let's see if you can hear this. Tell me if you guys hear the audio here. Oh, I can't even hear it. Oh, great. Well, we have her on. I'm going to then close out and give her the ring. Make sure that I got everything set up. Okay. Cool! Oh, Day's doing fine. Let's give her a ring. Okay. Okay, let's see how this works. Let's see if we can get her on. Oh, shoot, I just realized. I may actually not have set up the audio on this end, dude. Holy fuck, I am a hot mess today. Voice and audio, webcam, audio output device. Okay. Shush. You. Shush, game. Shush. Oh, we got a call. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I hear a not a fan. Let me
Hold on.
I'm gonna turn your section down a bit so that it's less of an issue. Oh wait, 1 sec. Okay. So okay. So, okay, say something. Let's see what we got.
Hello.
Okay, can people hear Squid? We got
Hello.
yeah. All right, well, let's wait for the chat for a sec. Turn down the audio from my end because I'm getting a little loud here.
Okay, I might have to drop out.
All right.
So I'll let you know if I need to leave, but yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna turn down my volume because I'm okay. Let me turn up
You can hear me, right?
this and I'm like okay. Okay, so I guess people can hear you. Okay, we got Scam telling me we can hear you. All right, cool.
Yo.
Okay, people. Okay, cool. Awesome. Oh, too low voice. Let me on her end. Okay, let me say something now. Let's see if we got it. Oh god, I'm like okay, perfect. I think we're good. Just
Oh shit! Hold on, I gotta turn these notifications off.
okay. Well, I can hear you, and I think people can hear you. I've been messing with the. Okay, she got to be louder. Okay, let me just turn that up. Okay, I got you on about. Trying to get the mixer set up right. Well, I did turn up the audio. I did turn up the audio, Kami. So we're good. We good.
Okay.
Okay. Can people hear? Okay.
I heard something background. What was that?
What?
I heard something screaming in the background. What was that?
That may have been me. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It sounded like some unholy demon going what or something like that.
Oh, that? Yeah, that's the stupid. Okay, I'm gonna take my foot off that. That's from my desk. Okay.
Okay, I thought that was an animal or something.
No, just torturing a goat. That's okay. So we have Squid on today because she was having a live stream and it kind of yeah, not the best quality. But we have her on today. So
No.
yeah, so we were talking actually before we had issues with connection, or you were having issues with connection. You were talking about Sailor Moon and the amazingness that was in the words of Dick Dastardly, the Dick Dub.
Oh, the Deek Dub, yeah.
Yes, I called it the Deek Dub. Well, let's be honest, right? I was going to call it
The Deek Dastardly
the
now dub it.
Yeah. Oh please, my friends call me Dick.
Deek. Dick. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
A meme of it. Da 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 da. Dick.
I think it wasn't it a character guy from like Monty Python that said it? I don't know. Like Dick. Like they replaced it with some guy seductively saying Dick. But yes.
Dick. No, but if I for a bit, well, it's still sort of on topic with Deke. Back when I was in college, one of our assignments was to study production companies in the past, and I actually did get in contact with Deke at least when they were still remnants of their that were running it were still left. And it was, from what little I remember from the email that I got from them, it was pretty interesting to know about their started in France, and most of their early stuff was from the 70s, and they spanned back so much, and it's sad that they disbanded and were kind of dissolved over the years. But if you look at the stuff that they were making during their last, you kind of understand why it was dissolved, because it was just like low tier shit.
Oh yeah.
But with the Sailor Moon Deke dub, what a lot of people is when it was airing on UPN, the ratings were so bad because it was kind of reflective of how Cartoon Network fucks over their shows on at ungodly hours where kids can't see. Because I think from what I remember myself and a friend people that I've known over the years, Sailor Moon was like on at 7 in the morning or something. So it's like, what kid, even if you loved Sailor Moon, but you never knew about the series at all, you wouldn't get up at like 7 in the morning just to catch the show. So the ratings are bad, but a lot of dedicated Sailor Moon fans, which I have to give them credit because they probably knew about Sailor Moon before it came, to the United States, and that's probably to keeping it on. They knew about Kellogg's being the advertisers for the show, so they bought Pop-Tarts and they kept buying to at least show some sort of support. And over time, that sort of worked out to, Toonami Cartoon Network getting it and then airing it for Toonami.
Well, there you go. That's. I'm not surprised that was a strategy they used back then. I mean,
and this was before we had anything like Reddit or anything. Didn't have the internet, didn't have home computers at least hooked up to the internet, so they couldn't, they couldn't make up they couldn't do petitions or something as easily we can do them right now. So you can imagine the dedication that a lot of these people did.
Oh, believe me,
back then when they had so little.
You're fine. I was just gonna note that one fandom that I know that was around that same time frame and was very, very active was the MST3K community. In fact, when it was being canceled on Comedy Central, they put out, I think, a full-page variety ad before it was taken up.
I think I remember hearing about that. Was this before or after they moved to Comedy Central, though?
This was at the tail end of Comedy Central when it was going to be canceled.
Okay, yeah, because I remember, as much as I can remember from my own past, I do remember seeing at least one blurry memory of Mystery Science Theater 3000 back. We didn't even have cable. I don't even know what channel it was on. It was probably WGN or some other syndicated channel. It was probably something that was airing from Bloomington, probably. But I remember that what was it was one of the characters from the early seasons.
Frank or
not Frank, it was the puppet. I can't remember what her name was.
Gypsy.
Not Gypsy. It was Madame Forrester. It was the little puppet lady. Yeah.
Well, Forrester wasn't a puppet.
Yeah, I remember her. I remember it was an episode with her and they shoved her in a bag. And I think Frank or one of the two and stuck in the door when he slammed, and that was the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And
I know exactly what season-ish that was. My brother and me were huge fans.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it was I didn't even know that was Mystery Science Theater 3, until I saw it and this scene feels so familiar, and I was like, oh, holy shit, that was the show. I just couldn't remember it, and to this day I still it was on. I just know it was in syndication because we didn't have cable.
Oh, so, that was the forgive me, that was the MST3K Mystery Science Theater 3000 hour. That was hosted by Mike dressed up as the A&E guy. God, I can't remember his character. He played an actual guy that was on A&E.
Lipton?
Not Lipton. Not Lipton. It was the. He was bald, had a bald cap on, and then Kobo will be on. God, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't even remember it. And I call myself a fan. My brother is gonna smack me one.
I just remember when Mike did the James Lipton impersonation because what did he slip on? He slipped on a box of ham dingers, and now he thinks he's.
Yeah, we're thinking of the same guy. I didn't think his name was Lipton, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I don't know what channel it was on to this. It was on WG.
It was a syndication. They had like an hour-long cut of every episode they would air.
Yeah, but Indianapolis. So, but like I said, I don't know what channel was airing it, because it either had to be something or maybe it was WGN, because we used to be able to get WGN sometimes. It's weird.
Yeah, it was a weird situation back then.
Yeah, but like I said, with this, before I was talking about round out on that, the whole thing that I was trying to start the stream on was the whole Star Wars situation. And like I said before, it's reminiscent of what was going on back in 2008 with the whole High Guardian Spice thing, because that's exactly what popped into my mind when I was watching that interview.
Oh my God, you're right.
It was the exact same talking points, the exact same attempts to pretend that they care and pretend audience.
Our audience, our staff is so diverse.
Yeah, our staff is so diverse, and the thing that was that's so much is when they talk about when she was trying to talk down to the audience, like, oh, white women need to step it up, and I'm thinking to myself, if that's the case, accept the job.
Yeah, it's like step aside. Why are you even here? Jeez.
It really doesn't make any sense. And before I cut out, I wanted to mention that I did see Clownfish's TV's video about an update, and apparently Disney isn't too happy about that whole interview.
Oh. So
and
I put my face on cam, everyone. Hey. But anyway, go ahead. Well, yeah.
No, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt you there.
No, but what they were talking about sort of makes sense once you realize it, because Disney's kind of struggling right now. And the last thing that they need right now is more drama, especially from their Star Wars, all their show division, because we don't know when they're going to start filming it, because all of this is still up in the air.
It was just being developed. That's all we know.
Yeah, but even right now, you don't jump out with that situation. The more it really feels like they did this. I think Variety's the one that did the interview, but once you look at it, the more it starts to feel like that they, on Disney's dollar, and Disney finding out. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? We don't need this.
We already have enough bad PR with KK. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and it, like, the last thing Disney needs right now is more shit, because didn't they just get this with the Marvel thing? The New Warriors,
and of course the amazing person they hired, the amazing person. Yeah. Oh God, that's been such a worthwhile investment for them.
Yeah, they're just not really doing it well in the public PR right now, and with the whole virus, with everyone being stuck indoors, the last thing they need is shit like this.
Because what else are they going to talk about? When you think about it, you're like, what can we talk about apart from these people falling flat on their faces like this?
Well,
I mean,
I was gonna say, well, season 3 of DuckTales is coming up, but then that might be in the air, because if they said animation is safe.
But give it a week.
No, and I don't mean that as a joke. I mean that, and like, with people coming into contact with each other, because my friend Dreaming, she showed me updates for Miraculous Ladybug, and they're affected by COVID, and they're in animation studio, but they just got fucked. Like, they don't know if they're going to get another season because of this.
Oh, Jesus!
It's not a sense of we're going to get a season because we don't know if we're going to get renewed because of ratings. No, they got fucked by COVID, and so it's just like, oh shit! Like, even though people can do animation from home, if things get bad, that might not be. We might not be getting that.
Well, you got to realize also they rely a lot on merchandising, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, when you think about Ladybug, it seems like their biggest merchandising market seems to be in Japan, because I'm just gonna say it's from my experience, I hardly see any Ladybug shit at all, because when I see all the merch in the studio talking about how much they sell, it's always in a store somewhere in France or somewhere in Europe. But here in the United States, feels like you can only meet so many people that actually know this show exists, even though it is popular. I'm not going to deny that it's a popular show here in the United States, but in terms, we completely suck at it, because the only thing that I usually see when it comes to Ladybug are like coloring books and shit, and even then depends on what store you go to even find those, because they don't sell them everywhere.
It's really sad, to be honest. It frustrates the heck out of me to see, like, I mean, people were saying, you know, like, how do you screw this up, like, so bad?
Well, there is. I mean, even though Ladybug is really popular, you gotta, we have to remember it's not an American production; it's an import.
Mm-hmm.
So is that factor that's gonna, go in and how it sells. But the stupid thing is, Disney airs it now, and that's the thing that I wanted to bring up. It's like the reason I knew about Ladybug was because I used to watch it on Nickelodeon, but
Oh
then
my
Disney got it.
gosh.
Because I think Disney's the one that's airing it right now, but they're not putting out any merch for it, and it makes no sense. And I think it airs on parts of the world, so it's really weird because depending on where you are, a lot of the shows that we watch are on different channels.
I remember back to when Disney XD for a short time had the rights to Naruto Shippuden because.
Oh God, yes, I remember.
Oh,
the
God.
only way I could even watch Shippuden, but this was like, oh my God. But the only thing I can give them credit for was they didn't edit out because I don't, did they do the original Japanese version?
I can't remember. I remember one of the channels did get rid of the sexy jitsu in the first episode. I don't know if it was Disney, though, to be honest.
No, Cartoon Network was that, because Naruto aired on Cartoon Network. They were the one that, oh God, they had the stupidest fucking rebranded theme for that. It was that stupid. It was like, because it's not a song. It was just them yelling like they were doing karate. I was like, ah, to some like vague Japanese biting beat, and it was so stupid because before I was picking up the manga. This was back when had the American imprint of Shonen Jump, and I started reading Naruto through that because I remember our local Walgreens when they had that, and I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing, I gotta check it out. And then when Cartoon Network aired it, they had like the was so shitty. I think I still have the tapes that I recorded it on the premiere night, and it was such for me. I was like, oh my God.
I still have an old VHS tape I found the other day of me recording. What is it? Transformers. What is it? Armada, back when it was on Weekday Toonami. My God.
Oh God, shit. Oh my.
I think I broke her, folks.
Oh, so much nostalgia. Old Cartoon Network nostalgia. It was amazing, folks, when they had a variety of shows. But I think a lot of people would argue that during that era they had so many imports, it just wasn't funny that they it out, because I think that's the problem with Cartoon Network right now. They could do with some good imports, but they probably won't do it because
they're the Teen Titans channel. Duh. They're the Teen Titans Go channel.
Yeah, it sucks so much. I mean, I really don't want to go on to a Teen Titans Go and Cartoon Network, but if I can just like say it in a broader scope, the thing that sucks so much is just their lack, and everybody knows it right now. It's just so bad when it comes to variety right now with Cartoon Network, and the thing that makes it so bad is like, I think this is probably the second era where they've had the most independent creators. Any variety when it comes to like the themes or the concept of the shows themselves, they all feel the same. So it's
funny. You have all this variety, but you don't actually have anything worth a damn to show.
Yeah.
Well, I will. Like, people were curious in the chat because I didn't actually properly introduce you. I think someone was asking if you were an insider, and technically you're not. But
no,
I'm sure you can give us a fun little rundown of that if you want.
I really don't want to consider myself an insider, only because I haven't really had any deep work in the animation industry, but I've been in contact with people in the industry, and you know, it's just really bad. Do you want me to give the long or short story of it?
I mean, if you want to give a simple, succinct one, if you wish, but people are just curious. Like I said, you know, she's an artist. She has some experience and does stuff on Twitter. Follow her art. Her art's amazing. So that's what I said. So
Okay, well, for people who are asking, how can I put it? I was looking for work in the animation industry, and if you've seen the Easy Peasy video,
that's what I was gonna say. If you didn't say it.
I'm the girl that they're talking about, that he talks about when he talks about women in animation. I'm not the insider, not the one that he was talking about, like was the person he mentions that was trying to get in contact with women in animation was basically shut out from them.
Yeah, I think it shows a tweet of your email you sent, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So that's, and it was when they released the High Guardian Spice thing that I put 2 and 2 together with how in the Western animation industry, because they were bringing these people in, and they more or less squandered so many positions that other people can hold, but they're not going to give them up anytime soon. So yeah, that's it. But that when I was talking about that ties into Star Wars, that's basically the same thing that's happening over at Lucasfilms. Is we have Kathleen, who's only appointed people, and most of them hardly have any sort of experience. And I mean, I'm not I'm not throwing shade to people who have little experience and all of a sudden they find themselves in a big position. But I mean, these people really have no clue of what. They don't care. They don't care to learn anything about the thing that they've been put in charge of. And that's why we see so many badly done films, badly done reboots, is because they're handled by people who just don't care.
Oh, because they're
because they're such having little experience, but learning along the way and learning to appreciate what you've been in charge of. But they have little experience and no respect for any charge of. So and it shows.
Yeah, it really shows. Honestly, the contempt towards fans. I don't know if you. I'm sure some people watched it already because I watched it before we did this. But I think today one of my favorite YouTubers, Short Fed Talk, we had a video on, and he was talking about Twitch streamers and how the quick or the slow decline from being kind of subtle about wanting money and using people to now the people who are just like, oh, you're unemployed? Well, get a job and give me money.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I know you have opinions on that. I don't want to dive into that hole, but it's a similar concept where it's like you have these amazing properties, amazing companies, and they give them the jobs to the people who have utter contempt for the people they're supposed to be working with. And the fans
I have a lot of theories on that too, because, and I'm trying not to not over explain it, but over exaggerate it a bit, because I don't want to dive too deep into conspiracy theories. But my observations from as soon as the Me Too movement started, you noticed that these people started coming in. And I've always held this, the speech that has to do not so much as if they've been affected by it directly, but they know, people like that know that if they say, oh, this guy so and so did something to me, they can start a hashtag on Twitter and get them canceled. So they hold these.
I was gonna sneeze and try and sneak in Mars Girl, but we all know who I'm referring to. She has me on. I live rent free in her mind.
But people like this, they hold movements like this over people. They hold it as a bargaining chip, and they hold it as a way to get into these industries that don't have any business getting into, because they don't care about it. But they just hold it for ransom. And I feel that even though we're going to say, oh, the Me Too movement has done some good, but there's so many people that have taken advantage of it and used it as a way to gain that beforehand they wouldn't have been able to, and they might say, oh, it's because I was so-and-so, but then you find out, no, it's just because you suck.
Oh, like I said, Mars Girl's whole kick Vic thing reeks of, well, if you kick him out, then we'll get you a job here in Funimation, where they're taking notes from 4Kids. Oh god, we talked about that.
No, I mean the whole kick Vic thing. I fought. Oh my god, it's just kind of amazing how so many things that I never thought would, meant anything in my life would, come. Because I want to mention this really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say maybe around 2014 or something. I was still in college, but I had gotten in with a couple of friends that we were in an anime group together at IUPUI, and we invited to volunteer at an anime convention. It was Anime Expo. I can't remember the exact year, but I met working at Funimation. I met the guy that does the narration voice for Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yes.
I still have the recording of when I did one of the things that we had to do for this volunteer work was interview a few people and put it on the site. I don't even know if it's still up, but I still have the interview somewhere. Where I still have it. But I remember Vic, he was one of the guests, and this was before I really started paying attention to English voice actors, so I was. But one thing I remember was one of the people that I was volunteering with, they weren't, but she had like this disdain for Vic for some reason. I never knew it because I didn't know who he was at the time, so it was just like, okay, I don't understand what's going on.
Oh, I think I know what it is. He's Christian. That's the problem.
No, she never mentioned that, but she said the way that she was talking about it, she was like, there was this like
utter disgust.
It wasn't really disgust, but there was like a lot of arrogance to her talking about like, oh, Vic, he's not that good, and he has some dirt. Like, okay, why did you mention this to me now?
Oh, it came unprompted. I see. You're like, okay.
Yeah, because
like,
I don't even think we were talking about Vic.
And all of a sudden, she just talks about it unprompted. It's like, why are you? Wait,
I think I remember what was. No, I think I was remember what was going on. It was later at night, and he was doing a concert, and what I remember was he was singing he was singing one of the One Piece themes. I can't remember. He
has a good voice. But I love him as Rohan. No joke. That's just my thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I like the Rohan. Baz, he's the one that more or less kind of like reintroduced me into JoJo and the anime and stuff, and he showed me the Rohan clip, and that's when I was like, oh my god, I love this character. But yeah, there was some, I don't know, bad shit held. This was like years before this whole kick Vic shit started, but it's just like when it came back up, I was like, oh my god, I remember that one chick that was completely sick.
Let me put it this way. I know there have been people who've said, like, I think a YouTuber by the name of, God, I can't remember his name because I stopped following him, but he was like, oh, well, people have known about, like, there's been, like, rumors for years, and I'm like, yeah. And from what you're saying, and it was so unprompted, oh yeah, okay, someone brought up the fact you're not signing yaoi stuff. That was something people pissed off about. I remember that was one of the first things people started talking about when it started going down. Like, oh, he didn't sign my yaoi art. It's like, okay, he doesn't have to, but he's like, he respectfully declines. But
oh wait, they wanted him to sign his alley. Oh, was this the one about where somebody drew like a character he voiced fucking somebody else?
Yeah, I think it was like, something like that.
It was like hentai. It was straight up hentai.
And he just and like, I'm good. I mean, if you like, that's fine, but I'd rather not sign it.
What did you expect the man to do?
Well, they expected him to sign the artwork, bigot.
No, it kind of reminds me of I think it was Mike Pollock or something. Somebody had wanted him to record Eggman saying something. And he didn't know what it was going to be used for.
It
and
was
like
snooping as usual, I see, and I hate that hedgehog. And he ever since, he's like, I'm not doing anything about that. They did not pay me for it. It's like there's all this like hullabaloo about it. People still use that clip. And the funniest thing is, he said it on Sonic Boom unprompted, like in the script.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, way to go, Mike. Way to go.
No, I think what a lot of people don't really seem to understand is like have a favorite voice actor, they still have their boundaries. So if you're gonna shove a picture of a character they voice getting like anal by somebody else and expect them to find that as like the greatest work of art ever, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? They don't. What do you want them to say? It's insane.
Okay, I gotta bring this up. This is one of the funniest chats I've had in a while. So Wise Play Studio says, "Sign my fan art of Brawly voring Vegeta, bigot."
Oh wait, okay, could you repeat that? Cause
it was like dang Vic, sign my my artwork of Brawly voring Vegeta, you bigot.
Vegeta. Oh my god.
That just vor reeks of DeviantArt. I just gonna say it. Just gonna say it.
No, it's either DA or FA, so yeah.
Yeah. It's always
no, but it's either one of them, but I know a lot of people, there are a lot of entitled people who think that they can just approach a BA and just ask them to do anything, but it's like people, these are human beings. They have their boundaries. Don't just like ask them to do insane shit in front of like massive crowds.
I actually have a story along these lines. I'm sure people would want to hear this, because you are very correct that many VAs have their limits, and I have a perfect example of this. When I think there's a local convention in my town, both for the chat, Squid and I both live around the Midwest. I'm like somewhat close by, but point is, there's a local convention that's in my town, and they had one year, I think, they had both Sonny Strait, who's Krillin's voice actor, and they had Kaiba and James voice actor from the 4Kids era.
No!
So
wait, I think I heard somebody.
so me, who has a like cheap ass flip phone, I got Sonny to say something, but there was something I wanted to get Kaiba to say, and he didn't. So I walk up to Kaiba's voice actor, I'm like, so you can do voices? I was like, could you say, screw the rules, I have money? And he said, I only do lines from the show. I'm not going to do anything from any other thing. And I'm like, looking back, I'm like, yeah, it's probably because I know there's some crazy stuff. 4Kids doesn't hire, like, even VAs who are non-union. They hire non-union or something. But I'm guessing it was either that or, well, let's just say many things that Little Kribu has had Kaiba say or made fun of 4Kids for. They probably doesn't want him to say those. Understandable. But, and looking back, I would have had him say, I would have changed my tweet and said, no, say Leo Brunetti and 4Kids are the devil, because he said that as James. Technically speaking, that would work. But, no, but then I walked over to Sonny Strait, and I'm like, could I get you to say, like, things you never thought Krillin would say? And unprompted, he's like, oh, what, you'd have me say, like, oh, 18, you're kind of like basically a sex doll, aren't you? Like a glorified sex doll. I'm like, no, that's not what I was going to have you say. I was going to have you say, I laughed, but I'm like, you said it unprompted. I'm like, you say it's over 9,000. And like, he said it, and I had him record and say it, but it's like, I'm like, he actually had an idea, but
he went all out just for fun. Wanted you to say something funny. Could you imagine being like 13 or something? He's like, hey, actor, say the most wildest thing you can ever say in that voice, and they just say something that's so off the wall, it just scares you for life.
I kid you not. I was kind of weirded out by it. I mean, at the same time, you know, he's now fine dunking on Vic, which pisses me off because he seemed like a nice guy. But that's just me. That's just me.
Well, since we're on the topic of voice actors and meeting them and stuff, just to talk about something positive, the best at meeting a voice actor is when I met Jess Harnell. Oh my god! It was it was at PopCon. I want to say in 2018 or something. This was my first time going because usually when I go to cons, I don't really like to,
Now,
make.
who did she do the voice? Or Jesse? You said Jesse
Oh,
and
it's Wacko.
oh, I'm
Wacko
Wacko.
Warner.
Yes.
Huh?
Sorry,
Jess Harnell.
yeah, I know who Jess is. Now. Yeah. Love him.
Yeah, but it was one of the most amazing things that I had ever been through because in person I'm not really talkative, but so I was waiting in line.
Oh, I got to.
He had like a line a mile long for people to meet him, and so when I'm nervous as hell. I'm nervous as hell in my stupid dress that I decided to wear at this con because I didn't have any cosplay set up. I went at the spur of the moment, and
I've had that happen.
I'm the person in line. And all of a sudden, he looks straight at me and he points at me. He's like, "I remember you." I'm like, "What? I remember BasCon." No, you didn't, sir. He's like, "Oh, you look so familiar, lady." And then he's like, we do like the short talk. Hey, can we take a photo? And he just gets so friendly. And he starts hugging, and it's like, oh my god, I'm talking to Jess Harnell.
And so he mistook you for someone else. But you're just kind of rolled with it, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of was like, oh my god, what do I do? And the thing is, I did draw him fan art, but from one of the characters he played. But the way he lit up when he saw it was just so amazing. It's just like, oh my god.
Oh, I got a story for you. I got a story then. That reminds me so much of this other thing. So, so for those joining us, I don't know if anyone's joined, but we're talking about voice actors and some of our moments. That reminded me of honestly one of the pivotal points in my youth. Oh god! Apparently, one of the She-Ra actresses spurred out. Someone had said, "I will talk about that later." But I met Scott McNeil.
Oh shit! Really?
Okay, so this is a story. So I was a huge fan of Beast Wars when I was a kid. I mentioned it in the other chat in your chat. I was mentioning how like at 6:30 in the morning they had Beast Wars on our local Fox affiliate. So like after Cops, and I would come down every Saturday because I want to watch it. And Scott McNeil did the voice of Waspinator and what are the other ones?
He did Rat Trap,
Rat Trap, and Silverbolt, and they had them all. They had like he was all of them, and they also I think they had Death Charge's voice actress and actor, and they had Black Ratnia. I should have had them say something together because he was both Silverbolt and anyway. That's another story. So and for those who may not know much about Beast Wars, he also did he was Tahoe in the first Bionicle movie. He was Wolverine on X-Men Evolutions. He's done a lot of voices. So, but when I was so excited because when I was a kid, there was a con that I didn't know existed. During 2000, BotCon was in my town. This year, 2006, they had a 10th anniversary of Beast Wars Con. They had, like I said, 3 voice actors there. I wanted to meet them. I heard about it on a podcast, and I was like, ah. So, and at that point, I was a huge Transformers nerd. 10 years later, in 2016, if I had gone back in time and said, in a decade, the new movie that's coming out next year, you're going to hate, and you're just going to destroy your love of the franchise, I'm like, oh, you liar. But, anyway. So I go to this con, and I'm part of the VIP, like, there's like a night before. I think I met one of the initial writers of the Transformers comics. I mistook him at first for Simon Furman, but no, it was the guy before him. But, and they were, like, going through all this, like, cool slideshows. And, like, in front of me, in front was Scott McNeil. He was wearing his cowboy hat. He looked like he was straight out of the band
Jess
Poison.
has a cowboy hat, too. I mean, you know the funny thing, I'm sorry to butt in, but Jess and Scott look so much alike, it's not funny.
But, because I know, like, Scott looked like Brett Michaels. Am I crazy? Because that's what I thought, like, looking back. But, so, like, someone next to me is like, oh, like, I was taking a picture. It's like, oh, you want to go meet Scott? I'm like, yeah, because I really wanted to meet him. Because I actually have my shirt. I had like each of them sign it, okay? And he's like, oh, Scott, come on over. I'm like, like 16-year-old awkward me. And he's like, they're like, could you sign my shirt, sir? It's like, it was kind of freaking out because he was, like, all his characters were my favorite characters on Beast Wars. And he goes back there and signs it. And mind you, I was such a nerd. I used to make, like, simple comic strips in the, like, of my Transformers toys. There was like this one that was like, I think it was like after it was like a nature documentary, and it was like after the larger beasts have had their fill, the scavengers come to clean up the rest, and it was two Transformers named Scavenger fighting over this corpse. And he looks at it and he laughs. He's like, "Oh, that's hilarious, man. You make that?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh my god, Scott McNeil, he gets it. He knows the joke." It was just like, as a kid, I just like exploded. Honestly, it was like, that show is why I do 3D animation. I looking back, that's why I like it so much. It's like, it's surreal. But yeah, I very similar to what you were talking about, because I met them all, had them all sign it. I think I got a Rampage that weekend toy. I had Depth Charge's voice actor sign it. Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, it reminds you a lot of what you were saying about him. Wacko's actor.
Yeah. No, it's just, fun stuff like that that I like about geeking out. But, still speaking about geek shit and all, getting back on the Star Wars thing, even though if you saw my timeline last night, I was really pissed off about it.
You preached. You said things and I was like, do it, say it, keep going.
And if you saw it, there's like, saying all this stuff. It's because, I already said that it just feels it just pisses me off. This can act as if they're in charge of something, like as if they're going to bring in something new when they haven't really done anything at all. Because if you look at case current run of Star Wars, it's no more diverse than it was during the prequels or the original trilogy. It's not.
It's not.
So I don't
really not.
Why she thinks she's changed so much when she hasn't really done anything at all.
She's virtue signaling, because
I know she's virtue signaling.
She's a decrepit old white woman.
And the funny thing is, it's like everyone keeps telling. I've asked this so many times before. Where exactly did she come from? And no one's really been able to give me a straight answer of where she came from directly. And I want to say a couple of months later, someone told me, "Oh, she used to work under Steven Spielberg," and I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
Oh, Kathleen Kennedy, yes.
Yeah, but before I heard of Kathleen Kennedy, and you guys want to know, if anyone's still listening, you want to know the moment as an adult that I finally saw the credits of anything. It was when I was fucking watching Tiny Toons How I Spent My Summer Vacation. Her name is in the credits.
Of course, it's right there. Nowhere else.
You want to know? And I watched it when I was an adult. So it's just like, wait, what? Oh, that's who she is. It's like,
oh, that's who she is.
No, but it's just like, she's acting as if she's bringing in some sort of, I don't know.
The Force is female. Yeah, it was there. The Force is female during the prequels too. Did you not notice? You said, she's like, "Oh, the Force is female." It's like, yeah, it's been female since the prequels. Have you not seen these other people?
No, well, Chad, what you have to realize is what she's doing is she missing all those other powerful and actually well-written characters because she can't take credit for them. That's what people like her do.
That's actually a very good point.
Dismiss the past, not because it's old, but they dismiss it because they can't take credit for it.
And that now, all I can think of now is literally the I had it and I lost it. But
because just think about it, guys. As fuck as the prequels were, because they're insane, but I like them because they're like
fun,
so
kind of insane.
They're so batshit insane that you can't hate them. I mean, I enjoyed them for how just off the wall. You know what? Okay, I'm sorry to divert away and stuff, but when I think of the it really makes me realize how excited George Lucas was for every new bit of technology existed at the time. That's why they came out the way that they did, because he was just unleashed, and he was like a kid given all this power with technology. Like, oh my god, I can recreate the scene that we made in the 70s and make it look crystal clear like it was filmed today, and put all these other characters and elements in it.
That was me when I think I found Minecraft, like, I was like, this is the game I wanted my entire life.
Yeah, but still, the story that he was trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you look at it, especially when it comes to like the female characters and all the racially diverse characters, Mace Windu will always run circles around what KK and Ryan Johnson brought in with Finn. There is no question about it.
Oh,
The fact
Samuel
that they
Jackson,
try to,
like, he was given a lights. He's like, I want a purple lightsaber. Okay.
yeah, and the thing about that is something else I want the chat to realize, because talking about, you know, KK and how she's like, oh, I'm gonna make everything racially diverse and shit. At least a character. He's an awesome character, and the thing is, like, they knew bringing in Samuel L. Jackson would bring in like more black. So I'm not going to deny that, because they do this all the time with movies like this. They knew Samuel L. Jackson would bring more people into the theaters, but his character was still and he's still memorable. With John Boy, am I pronouncing his last name right? Because I keep saying Boyega, but it's Boyega, right?
I think it's Boyega. That's how I pronounce it.
Boyega. They tried to create the same sort of give. Like, he's only brought in because they wanted more, you know, they wanted more black audience members, but they didn't do anything with him after that. So that's like the biggest difference between Mace and Finn. Like, Mace continued to be a character. He was a fucking kick-ass Jedi, but his death is still hilarious to me. I'm sorry.
Falls out a window. That's...
It was hilarious, but
I just had a theory. I was just thinking just now. What year did China allow Western films in?
I do not know, but that's probably part of it too. But then again, remember, Lucas already didn't give a fuck about Star Wars. That's the big thing, because everyone, it's a lot of people, many times, like, China has never had a connection with Star Wars at all. And when people talk about, oh, what country does? Japan! Like,
Samurai. Buddy Smith just pointed out, and I recommend everyone watch this, especially you, Squid. SF Debris did an amazing... He's re-uploading some of his works. One of the things he did was The Hero's Journey, which is his take on, like, the basically explaining the background of Star Wars, how it came the way it was. And, yeah, they bring up the Hidden Fortress and how that was the initial plan of sorts. And, yeah, Japan, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was Rose Eve there, because...
But they want to aim towards China, because at the time they had a better, growing economy. That's the thing. I mean, that's why a lot of what was the Transformer movie that was set in China? That was the reason why it was set there, was because they were trying to get in the
Dark
Chinese.
Of the Moon, I think.
Because they wanted to get in Chinese, you know, tickets. That's why it was set there.
Don't get me started on Michael Bay's movies. I literally watched Bumblebee in the first, like, 2 minutes. I was barely 2 minutes in, and I started crying. I'm like, my brother comes home, and I'm like, dude, I just saw in 1 minute and 40 seconds what I had been waiting for since the first Transformers movie. I was so in shock and goosebumps. I was just like, this is what I wanted. Oh my god. Oh my god. It was like, how hard was that for Michael Bay? Probably impossible. But
no, but I'm sorry, but like I said, with the whole Chinese thing, that's where it's the earlier examples I can give you. I can't give you.
I think that was kind of the beginnings. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I can't exactly give you the exact time.
I would say that's a decent benchmark. Also, Ray was going to be Asian at one point. Oh, that's interesting. Not surprised.
I think you got to realize that Michael Bay didn't, you know, set out saying, like, I'm going to make Transformers diverse, and then do, like, the complete opposite when the movie didn't care. He doesn't care at all.
Well, so I would say the female piece of ass in Last Night, he had to basically make her intelligent. But, you know, he has to change. But I will say, like, I was going to say, like, one of the biggest turnoffs for a movie for me is, like, if I'm going to see a movie that I already know is going to be stupid. And it starts off with like Tencent and all these investors. Like it was, I think it was Out of the Shadows and the Turtles. First time it's happened. I saw like.
Oh shit! I didn't see that. Oh, Out of the
I turned it
Shadows.
off. I was like, I can't watch this. It's got to be a Michael Bay movie, but it's Michael Bay, and they're like of all at least 3 or 4 separate fucking. But then I watched Bumblebee, and it has the same amount of like Tencent films and all these others, and I watch it. I'm like, and like the first minute 40, I'm like, this is what I've wanted since the beginning, and you gave it to me in like the first. And I don't know where. I don't care where it goes from here, because I literally just saw Brawl get pushed aside. He looks like G1. You have the Seekers. You have the Shockwave and Soundwave with the original VAs. Soundwave has the vocoder sound effects, and it's Cybertron. And I'm like, and the Seekers are in their Cybertronian triangles, and I'm just like, I am literally witnessing what I wanted. Oh God! It was like I'm so happy
I can hear your frustration. I can sense your frustration.
Well, the chat can see it because I have a webcam on. It was the most. I was like, I'm so happy I'm watching this right now. We're not gonna get a sequel because Paramount's the shitter. But
oh no, do you really want a sequel to that anyway?
Bumblebee? Yes. So long as the person who was.
I thought you were talking about. No, I thought you were. Turtles, because I was like, what the fuck? No! Like, no, I don't want another sequel to Ninja Turtles, Babe Turtles, or whatever you want to call them.
I think Buddy Smith mentioned the only good thing about Out of the Shadows is being Rocksteady. I would say I like how they had Krang in it.
God. And Tyler Perry as Baxter fucking Stockman. What the absolute fuck?
To be honest, I'm at least happy I'm happy they made him comic somewhat accurate. Like they basically mixed in a bit of the well, I put it this way. I'm happy they made it very much. He was very similar to the 2012 series, and that version, in my opinion, is the best one they've done so far.
Okay, I had a theory because even. Okay, I have a theory though, because as much as people don't like the bust on Tyler Perry, I have to wonder nerd because he was in Star Trek. And then he was also in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but as a bigger role. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy.
He probably is.
I mean, there are like a bunch of other black actors they could have picked, but they picked him.
That's a good point.
Ironically, and it makes me wonder.
Who was he in Star Trek?
He was in Star Trek.
Which one?
The first one, the first of the remake. He was the I can't remember what his Kirk is talking about. Chat, back me up on this because he is in Star Trek. He's when Kirk is talking to. I haven't seen the movie in years, but he's one of the first who's talking to Kirk about starting the journey or whatever. But he is in Star Trek.
Okay. I would have expected Darkness, but still.
He showed up in Star Trek for absolutely no fucking reason.
Well, and so did the guy that JJ puts in every one of his shows, but that's inevitable.
No, I think he's probably a closeted nerd. I think he is because
I know. Like I think The Rock was in D&D, so.
Because he's like out of all the the notable black actors that you could have put in that role, and you picked Tyler Perry.
Yeah,
that's really.
I would argue he probably is. That's probably the reason. Is Chappelle a nerd at all? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's the honestly putting a comedian.
Scapegoat. Yeah, but
putting a comedian was a good idea, at least in my opinion.
No, but it was just being him. Out of everyone they could have picked as like Baxter Stockman, it's like what?
It's actually not a bad choice, but yeah, I know it's like kind of a weird choice still, nonetheless.
It's just weird.
Well, okay, they did have Bernie Mac in the first Transformers movie.
But Bernie Mac was popular. He was a man.
You're like, yes, but Bernie Mac was popular compared to Tyler Perry.
I'm being serious though. But
I know. I'm not
he had the show on. But at the time, he was more I don't know how to put it, but Bernie Mac
I just like it was a subtle jab there. I will give you that. That was funny. No, but Tyler Perry wasn't popular compared to Bernie Mac. I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna argue that. I just found it really funny. I was like,
Bernie Mac is a king of comedy. That's what you have to understand.
I know. I'm just, it was a funny joke. It was just a funny moment. I'm sorry.
But could you imagine if Bernie Mac were still alive, that they picked him to play Baxter Stockman? That would have been hilarious as fuck.
Well, to provide, okay, yeah, that is true. I'm trying to think. I'm like, Bernie Mac. That whole scene of Bernie Mac was one of the only moments in the movie was funny because he let him do his thing. He's like, I'm gonna let you do whatever the heck you want because you're Bernie Mac, and he had like that scene was actually funny. Like, I laughed. The rest of the movie
sucks, but whatever.
Drink your prune juice.
No, but getting back to movies that suck, like I was talking about, like the difference between Mace.
Yeah, Mace Windu. Yeah.
Yeah, Mace Windu is actually a character. Finn is nothing more than bait. That's all he is. People call him a
bait. I will take
He's
that.
Bait.
I wanted him to be the protagonist. I was like,
I mean,
that seems like a fun arc. I'm interested.
But you have to realize, about the Force is female, there is no way in hell that you're going to get a competent black character under that sort of mindset.
In hindsight, with KK, yes. But it was a different time, I guess. No one. I mean, the last movie I actually thoroughly enjoyed. Like, I barely enjoyed Force Awakens, but I was invested in Rogue One.
Yeah, that's the thing that people don't really. It's like, oh, why was Rogue One so popular to the last two movies? Well, it's because it's the beginning. Yeah, it's the beginning of an arc, and it's just like the prequel. It's like Episode 1, when people were hyped as hell to see that movie, even if it was a massive clusterfuck of pod racing. But oh god, the pod racing.
I will say the one thing that I actually cared about the characters. And
I know, that's the thing. Yeah,
I remember them.
I swear to God, I had a nightmare where. I had a nightmare where I don't know if this was real or not, that I had to watch an extended cut of the goddamn pod racing scene. It was just like, what the fuck is this? I don't remember this in the theater. I was like, what is going on?
If you guys want to see something funny, when I found out they sold Lucasfilm, okay, I had this idea in my head, and I said, as soon as I learn how it was a good video game, I will not disagree. But the scene in the movie, awful. But I was gonna say the one thing that they mentioned I decided to make as soon as I found out that after Episode 1 in 3D failed, and then he shortly thereafter sold it to Disney, I said, when I learn Source Filmmaker, I'm going to animate this idea, and I did. It wasn't very good. I may remake it soon because I actually know how to do things better. But it was basically George Lucas on the stage. Everyone's booing him with Episode 1. He's like, and it cut to Mr. Krabs' voice. I'm losing money on this deal. Puts out a price tag. Mickey Mouse comes up. It's worth every penny.
Oh my god!
When I first found out that after Episode 1 bombed in 3D, he sold it. I'm like, yeah, that. We all laugh. Like, that's. Like, I was like, are they really starting with
Episode 1? I have to go.
1?
Hold on. So
we'll end the stream then if you want. Oh, wait, jeez. Oh, well. She had to cut it. Thank you all for coming. This was fun. I will talk to you all later. See you later. I'm going to go get me some dinner. Okay. You know what? I will look that up, buddy. Thank you all for coming. I had a blast. Hopefully you guys did too. I'm going to do this more often because I have more time on my hands now. Talk to you then.